welcome back to the channel. I have actually just finished filming how I do my makeup for this Flamingo Land show. It is 80s rock, and this video is going to be how I do my hair for the rock show. So I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration of how I do this particular hairstyle. I will pop a little picture of it right here. So, when I say first, my hair naturally is actually very curly. It hasn't been set into curls at the moment because I've been doing this hairstyle every day. Actually still a little bit damp. So depending on what kind of hair you have, depends on how you would deal with your hair, or you might need to like change things about how I do this. But this is how I do it for my hair. As you can see, like this has literally just been left to dry with no product in it. So it's not full curls, but it is a little bit wild and it does hold quite well because it's quite dry. So the first thing we're going to do is use a comb. So I'm going to start with I normally do like 2 plaits here and a plait at the top, and then I do the little buttons down the back. So the first thing I do is I start this side and I make a little plait. I have a mirror just here, by the way, so I'm going to sort of be doing it this way but then turning. I kind of decide where I want parting to be, and I make a little part here. And it doesn't go that far back. So I make a little part, grab sort of around my ear to the back of the parting, sort of use my nail to get a rough parting. It doesn't need to be exact. Hold this little bit of hair and then I bobble the rest. Now for me, I find it easiest to manage this bit of hair with a little spray bottle and some water. So I like to just spray this bit here, and then if I need a bit of hold, I'll just use a gel. Do just a tiny little bit on your fingers, and then I just do this. Sometimes I find, because I have curly hair, I have to brush it through the bottom. If you have quite straight hair, you probably don't need to worry. So I make a little section there at the front, and then just pop 2 fingers in like that to create my 3, and then start the plait. I'm going to assume that you can already do a little French plait, but if you can't, I'm sure there's plenty of videos out there that will show you. This particular tutorial is just going to be me showing you this hairstyle, so I'm not going to do it now, but obviously this is how you do a plait. I know it's quite fast, but I just take little sections until I get to the end. Whoa. And then at the end, I just pull it nice and tight, and then I use a little bobble. I like to use these as opposed to the elastic ones because they just get stuck. So I'll plait it a little bit further, grab it, and then put my bobble in. You can get smaller versions of these, which I should probably use. There we go, that's the first plait done. So job number 1 is part and plait. So we're just going to do that for the rest. So the middle bit, again, try and get it even, make a little part, put my thumb at the bottom of that parting and the bottom of that one, and scoop up the hair, and then bobble the rest. I should have said actually, you need quite a few bobbles for this, but I'll show you what bobbles I'm using as we go. So water, a little bit of gel, just to keep it nice and neat. And for this one, I actually just go a little bit in of the parting and start with like this little section, again, fingers in to start the plait, and then I'll pick up a little bit further. Just keep going, and then obviously once you're at the edge, you just go back like you normally would on a plait. I hope you can see this, it's a little bit dark in here. And then again, pull it when it gets to the end so it's nice and tight. Plait a little bit further back, another thin bobble, and bobble it. This is about the point where my arms start to get tired. So for this middle one, I don't do this bobble quite as tight, and I'll show you why when we get there. If you need to give your arms a little rest, feel free. I try and crack on for the sake of the video. So I just part that last bit, again using that little thumb trick, bobble the rest, a little bit of water, some gel, smooth that on. I'm going to part again. I think a lot of this is just making sure it's neat as you go, and if it's not, obviously just try and smooth it down. Ooh, my arms are aching. Nice pull when you get to the end. So again, a thin one, and bobble. You can kind of pull the plaits out a little bit, and it gives you a bit more of a bump, so you can see the plaits a bit more. You don't really see it too much in my hair because it's dark, so you can pull that out a little bit if you want. So to create the buns, the first bun that I do is I take this top plait and take the bobble. This is why I didn't do it too tight to start with. Take the bobble, do another wrap, but then don't pull it the whole way through. And that's basically how you do the little buns, is you do a little bobble but don't pull it the whole way through. That's my first one. My second one that I do is I take 2 side plaits and the bit that's been left. Show you that, the bit that's been left for the first bobble. Try not to get any of the other hair in it. So I grab that and the 2 plaits. I normally use a smaller bobble for this as well actually, and then from here on we're using thick bobbles for me. So you've got those 3. You just do a little pony and then pull it through to make the little bob. Some of my hair gets a bit short, so I pull it through, and sometimes obviously some of the bits that aren't long enough will like flick and be a little bit messy. Because this is a rock show, that's kind of fine. But yeah, try not to let too many bits come through. I hope that made sense. I don't think I explained it very well. But like this short bit for the next one, obviously some of the bits of hair will come through the little bob. So then I go from like maybe just behind the ears here and just take a little bit more hair and the rest of the hair from that last bobble and split it. You might need to brush if you've got curly hair like me. Just try and smooth it all out a little bit and then make another little bobble. And you can see like this bit of hair here is dead short now. Sometimes what I try and do is almost when I'm bobbling it, twist it around so that you get like the back hair, but I don't think that really helps that much. So then you've pulled your third little bun through. Oh, the arms are tired. And then just make sure you're leaving a little bit. So we're going to do a fourth bobble, but leave a little bit at the back because we're going to do a fifth. Take the fourth bobble, make sure you're scooping up the rest of that hair from the bobble before. And we do a little pony. And leave the little bob like that, and then scoop up all the rest of the hair at the back, at the bottom there, and you make a pony, pull your little bun through. This is what we have so far. I hope you've been able to see. You can sort of like try and give them a little, obviously like they're not super neat, but that's why it's quite nice for this rock show. So the last thing I'm going to do is this little, I mean mine's an afro, it's so curly at the bottom there, but this last little bit, what I do is I just twist it and wrap it around this bottom bun. So there's just a bit of hair wrapped around that bottom one, and then I take another thin bobble and I wrap around just to keep that in place. I don't personally use any grips and it's stayed in really well for me so far, and it is quite a crazy show, but if you wanted to grip little bits you could. So this is the final look. Give you a little 360. I've got this side, this side. So that's how I've done my hair for the show. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I have nothing more really to say about it. I want to be in the sun. But yeah, if you want any more hair tutorials, please let me know. Let me know if you've liked this video. Please give it a little thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I really hope I see you again in another video. And until next time, goodbye.